We're in. I'm in.
We are literally in right now, Seal. We are now coming to you live with game number 2
Whoops.
of Awesome Premier
I meant
League.
to do that.
Amazing. So after a very, very raucous first game, we are coming here again on a beautiful Erangel for a second round here. A lot of interesting action that first game. Very impressed to see teams like C9, Pecadorus, Gale Force Esports all getting a ton of frags there. Unfortunately for Gale Force, not able to make it through the end game there, but ultimately a lot of action, but also some notable absences as well as C9, as Envious, Totality, and Ghost all failing to crack the top 5. All teams very capable of doing so. So we'll look to see how that changes here in game number 2.
It is important to know that that was not a standard zone. The flight plan wasn't exactly mean to the zone. You know, they were relatively pretty close to each other, the flight plan and the zone. But Stalber endings are always rough. They're always full of upsets and just things like that. Game 2, if we get a non-Stalber zone, might be a little bit more what we're used to. However, though, as the countdown has ended, we have our plane route right now, looking like it's going to be going northwest to southeast, which is, once again, should be a route where most teams should go around where they want, with maybe the exception of Primorsk or something like that.
Yeah, we can already see a large amount of teams opting to immediately leave the plane. Ghost here looking to try and get over to the Severny shooting range area. Rectify choosing Zarky as their home. MLGB jumping out with Envious, who often likes to land in that southern George area. MLGB maybe looking to contest there. You see Swifty Q and the rest of his team there as well. Also, Razak being occupied by Noble and FlyQuest. Optic opting for the apartment landing again. Totality moving towards Yasnaya along with Twisted Sin, and C9 making their way to Lipovka and prison area. So a very wide dispersion of teams here. Looks like Optic again is going to go toe to toe with a team here that has already made life difficult for them one time before. So I did see that. Yeah, I saw an M16 in the hands of Tunican, and he takes down 17 immediately here. Tunican playing the spoiler, Hetero right below him as well. Baja Waka looking to support coming up the stairwell, looking to see if he can get Tunican off his team here. Tunican looking to retrieve some other loot as well. Baja Waka with the very unreliable pump action shotgun, at least in my experience. Baja Waka maybe looking to hold the stairwell here, gather some information. Tunican opting to jump off the roof and rejoin his team here. Smart play here. So again, an early loss for Optic here in the apartments.
And it's very curious as well because Optic is losing despite having like all their team here, while other apartment goers are actually splitting up from a 2-2 split apartment in school, which is what most people normally do. Having a full team get these apartments is very strange, but the full team still isn't actually ousting this small two-man.
Well, if you remember from last game, it was Optic who split. It was Optic in the school, and that's why they were unable to support their down teammate. Now they've changed it up and landed together to try and oust this team from this area, but they have again come out with the short end of the stick, taking an early game fight. This is the danger of that type of behavior. So Optic again, losing out on a 1-to-1 match here, as it's just down to RNG. Not something you want to deal with when it comes to trying to place in a competitive setting. So we see here moving over towards Rift and company. Rift has the Car 98, no helmet. They are coming out of the large Milta power plant. Rift looks like he's trying to escape from Cheney. Cheney spotting him with long distance from the up. Rift getting to cover here. Not something that Cheney can really deal with. Rift kind of looking back, knowing that he's likely out of danger, at least for the UMP.
Well, actually getting shot a little bit in the back, though. Surprising that arrangement. Oh, he's actually one shot right now, just trying to get away, but I think he's getting shot from his west now as well. Not having too great of a time here. Will be getting finished off, though. I think he was being shot from, that was near Milta Power, as it looks like the Milta Power, the team splitting between these two locations, will be able to finish that solo player off.
Yeah, unfortunate for Rift there. It looked like he might have been landing to scout large power there, but TLC split between the two locations does spot him out and kill him here. So I believe that's set to destroy, losing a member early as well. It looks like Milta is a bit of a logjam as well.
Again.
We see here Team 21, 10, and Pecadorus all there as well. Optic still looking like they're hemmed in that one apartment building, unable to really do anything about it. But yeah, Milta kind of split down the middle here between these two teams.
We're definitely seeing teams have preferred places. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, these are the same two teams from game one. They're actually contesting Milta once again. But right here, most of the farmer is still having a couple of guys in the outskirts as well. These are the guys that are not willing to lose their lives for a fight in the city, which when it comes down to it, you can't really blame them, because if you lose one of these early city fights in the looting phase, you're getting 19th or 20th place. Even if you put up a good fight, even if you kill 3 guys, losing this fight will just ruin your team's placement.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a situation now where you can see here with I'm not even gonna try that name. He's going down here early in Milta. So again, a situation where these early game fights, not something we would normally see with these types of teams, but I think they're kind of not very familiar with each other and how they drop around. So we see here Galeforce hearing that noise, maybe looking to press down a little bit to try and investigate. So Wolf down on the right hand side of Milta. We see VTV go down, so that's another set to destroy member taking an early exit from this game.
Yeah, it looks like they're focusing their efforts on the eastern side first before they can deal with the reinforcements coming from the west. That being said, a couple of guys are making their way over here. We see a beautiful death here, for example, who has heard all this stuff going down on the east side and might be looking to get some, well, I guess I'm looking to get some action himself, but we're now seeing the same play. I was just talking about getting down, thinking shot through the window next door. This area now getting claimed by the newcomers.
Yeah, Galeforce taking very solid control here. Team Ready, I believe, is the team here now looking to retreat outside of Milta. Galeforce securing this area for themselves here, split out on both sides, able to pressure the team out of town. So that's a tough spot for Team Ready. We're now going to have to rotate north to get away from this, as this is going to be a main island spawn here. I don't believe we're going to go down to Military Optic. Still escaping here, still with 3 up. So I don't think they're going to be very looted, though, as Kickstart and company have made it very difficult for them. Actually, it looks like Hetro going down here as well. Hypoc taking shots long distance from CeeLo Green. Optic having a very rough start to these first 2 games, as Hetro is caught out. Now Hypoc opting to just escape here. I cannot imagine their loot is any good. So it looks like Hypoc will be able to get away, but that is going to be 2 down for Optic again in this early game.
Well, they're going to get really good at playing for placement, I guess, when it comes down to it. They're not going to be able to take any team fights. We're seeing right now on their back a couple of rifles interspersed between these 2 guys. So if it comes down to it, they'll kind of be able to take a fight. No helmet, 1 armor. You don't want to take this fight. And the issue is as well, is that where they're running toward, it's not like there's a ton of loot over there. They had to get kidded from that farming school area. They're going towards Potato Mountain, which has a shack on it. Further south, the farm we're seeing right now, Farm and Milta area, has a lot of teams here. If you're Optic, I don't know what your next step is besides just find somewhere prone and hope no one steps on you.
It looks like we have Noble here approaching to try and regroup just south of Milta as well. They're coming right towards Pecadorus, H-Win and company, having this place already on lockdown. I believe they were spotted out. I did see some shots coming on to Godspeed. You can see here him being half health, not full strength exactly, is Pecadorus, as they are split out. Not a ton of line of sight between their southernmost compound and where Noble is currently situated. Meanwhile, very edge of the zone, we see Rectify showing up late, Dash in there as well, as he is just kind of holding the edge of the zone, maybe looking to scout for his team as they are still coming out of the Georgie area as this first zone starts to close.
Quite a few players actually deciding to show up a little bit late. In fact, the west side of the white having no players in it at all. Looking here, though, we see a crate in the shelter area looking like it is going to be claimed, yep, just pretty much for free by this whole squad. They'll be more than happy just parking up the Uzis around here. Everyone's showing up, just getting that crip and then driving on away. It's always nice when you just have like those random crates that show up, especially in these comp games. Crates that show up sometimes aren't even looted at all. Oftentimes they're too dangerous, too risky for teams to be willing to go for.
And yes, you see if that was a C9 picking up that easy crate there. Again, the Mark 14 being an excellent addition to the squad loadout, being able to do a lot here. Now it looks like Profi's just landed right next to Moody. Profi not knowing he's there. Moody actually missing those initial shots. Profi returning fire. Looks like he is going to have to do some bandaging here, but he is flanked and then taken down as C9 happens to be right on top of him. So Profi, again, Ghost as well, having a tough start to this game, losing a key player in Profi, one of the best fraggers in the game. And that is going to be it for him. So meanwhile, we do see Undercover Pie being knocked out as Ben Q5 and Gale Force Esports are again engaged with Team Ready, likely near the Milta area. Riem finishing off 6mo, so it looks like they should be able to get some reses off there. Meanwhile, Optic now running right into Twisted Sin here.
They cannot catch a break. They actually just showed up, but T-Sin actually rolled up to this compound that immediately was able to actually get in these buildings as well. Actually, Lionheart here contesting this one window, just waiting for Bahawaka to peek that one window. But meanwhile, to the northeast of this, we're seeing a couple more players not too comfortable in the current position. Some sitting around in shacks, others prone behind their vehicles. Optic actually going for that two-man split with one person trying to win the 1v4 and his teammate hiding in the shack.
This is questionable decision making for Optic. I mean, if they're going to go 2v3 or 2v4 on this house, why not just group up and get away from this area? Maybe not an option right now, as it looks like Bahawaka does catch a shot from Napkinato's AK as he tries to retreat down the hill. And I did see Hypoc kind of trapped in that shack there with another member of Twisted Sin Esport up there looking at him. So Optic just really, really floundering here, trying to find a way to survive in this early game still with 66 players remaining.
Yeah, and just look at the terrain around him. Every single compound, every single one has at least one player in it. There's very few options left. Meanwhile, over here, we're seeing north of Pachinki a compound crash, but our squad 3 is not watching the east side of the zone. They're able to get inside. CeeLo being very happy he's able to walk inside. Tunican on the east side as well. Will be able to reinforce his team from the outside. I must say now in this garage trying to peek, but it looks like squad 3 now not playing the rooftops is looking like they might be a little bit aggressive here, actually getting off the rooftops, getting to the low ground, and trying to see if they can get any sneaky picks.
Yeah, Squad 3 Affinity Esport here looking to try and go one-on-one with Ignite. Ignite with the better building selection here. Dashin looking for an angle onto Kickstart, who's holding a very long peek on that window there on a wide angle, not exposing himself. Spotting CeeLo actually making a pick here, so now they're gonna have to try and try and get into this next building here, but it doesn't look like they're gonna use that advantage. SwiftEQ not in position, throwing a nade, actually long distance right in, throws a smoke, maybe looking to try and block that top line of sight area. Menthol on the outside, listening to footsteps, probably trying to feed his information to his team. Now SwiftEQ pressing with the real nades now, pressing through the window. Kickstart avoiding any damage there. Tunican pressing out on the left-hand side. CeeLo now looking to take the high ground position. That smoke going to not allow him to look out those primary windows. So a lot of strategic movement here right now, Seal.
On the topic of that as well, Menthol being where he is, they definitely heard him show up there, but now he's just holding this angle and making these two players that are on the building on the right actually not peeking, instead camping these corners, not going to be able to assist their teammates maybe as much as they could have. Now though, CeeLo Green, he's trying to just actually hold these really, really wide angles. He's got an AK. This will absolutely shred players at close range. But it's just not a quick push. You know, I think that right there, they weren't quite able to capitalize, and now this push is taking too long. Menthol getting caught out, and it's looking like it's time for iMossy. Actually using that player's getting a second down off of that. This could be the beginning of the end for Squad 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Affinity actually losing that control that Menthol was providing. As soon as he went down, you see that Ignite PUBG jumping out of that building and then pressing that angle, just to basically take away that control that Menthol had established. So those two kills right there, very important, as now Affinity on the ropes here. SwiftEQ and Dashin, I believe, taking a headshot there, taken down very, very low. Dashin having to use a very valuable first aid kit here, as it looks like Ignite is going to press out of their buildings and try and get an angle here. Tunican looking for a flank. SwiftEQ anticipating that. Not sure if there's anything he's going to be able to do about it other than hold that angle as he's looking to that garage building. iMossy doing the same thing on the high ground. And now Tunican has got him caught out. Dash in the last one remaining, having to jump on the opposite side of the building, just trying to med here. Now it's a four-man push onto his position, split out on two sides. So this is going to be very difficult for Dashin, who is now the last remaining member of Affinity.
Right in the corner right now. They're trying to hold up, but not even getting a single down. But that was absolutely beautiful from iMossy in particular, being able to win those gunfights using the down player's bait initially, then going on the high ground. We're seeing a lot of times in competitive play, the camping spots that are valuable are oftentimes the ones that are just weird. Like, why would you be there? But iMossy was able to actually keep that in mind, go to the high ground, and capitalize on the odd, cheesy, I guess, positioning from those players playing outside. Meanwhile, though, we're now seeing in the middle of the zone, east of Pachinki, two players that have, or two teams rather, that have found themselves in neighboring compounds. One in this very, very popular two-story with wide vision, trying to fight those guys over there south. In the two barns, they're a little bit better to camp in rather than actually exert pressure out of.
Yeah, you can see here. It looks like Wooly and Company here, I believe, have this compound locked down. But MLGB looking to find a foothold here. This is a fairly center circle, so there are lots of available houses. So under the name of Duel is Wooly, Pentalol, K-Mind, and Jnark. We
Oh.
have another crate here with a nice ghillie suit, little AUG action compensator as well. Nice fancy level 3 backpack. So a good prize there. You can see that. Duel is dueling with the MLGB just outside their compound. Trading shots here. We now come over to Totality, also engaged and one down. I do not see who are we missing? Purdy, Taro, Smithy. I believe Nop Nop is the missing player here. So Totality one down, unless Nop Nop is somewhere else in the map. I do not see him. So I imagine he is down and out as well. FlyQuest holding a building. So it looks like we might have a little bit of a lull here unless MLGB decides to make a play onto Duel Rectify, holding on to Pachinki. And right now it's a bit of a wait as we see this next circle slowly close.
Well, there isn't much reason to move, right? If you move out and it turns out that the zone was where you were initially anyway, then you're going to be feeling like awfully big of a fool if you moved out and didn't have a good reason to. You know, though, a lot of these guys in the farm area, there's quite a few players on the southeast side of this zone, Moses. And the farm itself is pretty notorious for killing players as they try to leave. There's a lot of open ground outside these small compounds, and specifically right here on the southeast side, these players that had previously found themselves a home just were not moving in until the very last moment, and they are moving directly towards, to their west anyway, is an occupied compound. I'm not sure if they're going to have a good time or even be able to at all to make their way in here.
Yeah, and it's again a fairly centered zone, right in well, a little bit to the right of the center of
Oh.
the prior zone. So this is going to be hanging around the Pachinki Hill area. So a lot of movement options for that. We can see Gale Force already migrating south. I'm interested to see how they're going to choose to get into the zone here, either by vehicle or by beach. Not a lot of cover there, so I imagine they're looking for a vehicle or some other form of way. I'm not sure what their game plan is here. I'm not. Maybe they're just trying to come in south and head to that open compound there on the bottom of your screen, just below Pecadores. Pecadores holding that set to destroy, also in that area, looking to scout that out. This is a very difficult position to fight in. A lot of up and down compounds here, so it looks like set to destroy might decide that they do not want to mess with this place and just move right through. We see McCoy there as well. I do not see the rest of Ghost, so unless they're right on top of him and the nameplates aren't loading, I believe McCoy is by himself. Looks like he
Oh,
is
yeah, he
also.
is.
I saw Austin knock himself out with a vehicle early, so I'm not sure what happened there. We see it all the time with Ghost. I don't know what it happens a lot in general, but especially with Ghost where they're knocking themselves out with vehicles. But set to destroy, taking this little shack here, and I think that's probably where they're going to be hanging out for this next stage.
Honestly, that was some really good movement from them to be able to escape that occupied compound that they were actually we're seeing right now that their previous homes now being moved on through. But meanwhile, on the northeast side, we're seeing a couple of players playing outside, spotting players further northwest. What we're seeing right now is going to be the story for a lot of teams from now on. A lot of combos being forced out, which is going to mean fighting here on these particular hills. This is going to be tree-to-tree fighting. This is going to be a lot of very, very brutal movements as well. These carnates, these bolt actions will be very, very effective here at sniping those heads when they do peek around these trees. Question is, though, is that can they hit the shots?
Yeah, absolutely. Now you see here C9 Frolicker there with the Mark 14 looking down towards TLC, sorry, and they're just trying to navigate into the zone. I believe C9 has the better position here, holding those yellows and just kind of looking down towards them. Meanwhile, we see Ignite now firing at the remnants of Totality. Totality Interrogate already going down. Smithy and Purdy trying to support here. They are just inside the zone, but are under complete fire. Totality having a very difficult time gaining a foothold here. I'm interested to see how they kind of try and come back from this. Smithy taking some fire. So all members of Totality in some level of distress at this point, as Ignite has a very dominant position on them. They will be safe for this zone, but you better believe that those apartments are going to come out in the next zone. Noble also under fire here. Quinn pushing up a little too close, but is getting traded out here. D-Master doing a good job. Again, that's something I've been noticing from them. Pecadorus does an excellent job at team fighting with support here. So we see Noble having a member down below here. I believe that was Godspeed down in the forward position. H-Win also down. Vexel looking to press this ridge, flanking out to the right, probably looking to get a high ground position, but instead returns, trying to get a res here. So I believe that they're going to try and push straight here. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Maybe looking for a silhouette to shoot at. Godspeed wasn't down. He's at the top of that hill. Natural looking down on him as well. Vexel taking some shots on the flank there. It looks like Adaculus takes him down. It is actually Boom down at that rock. So D-Master taking Boom down. Again, a nice trade there. Looks like they're going to find a seam here as a couple of shots get traded. Edaculus taken all the way down to almost 1 HP, almost going down there. So this is now Noble on the ropes. I believe that they did lose their down player. Natural also in a medic situation. Godspeed with the nades now. Natural going down. It looks like it looks like Twisted Sin hit him with a long range shot with the SKS. So Natural going down from a third party. Not sure if they've noticed that on the kill feed has Pecadorus. Pecadorus now trying to regroup 3 strong as well. Looks like Vexel did go out. So unfortunate for them. But Noble and Pecadorus deadlocked right now as TLC moves in ahead of them.
Just look at that new zone as well. Is Pachiki Fields as well with 1 compound dead center. So these players on the east side, they have a long way to run. They need to take these fights as fast as safe as they can. But look at that beautiful ridge. Even though Noble has a couple of down players, they're able to sit up here, get meted up if they have them, and then just continue taking the fight. That being said, from Noble, one of the players didn't have a backpack, another one didn't have a helmet. I'm not sure where they've been this game so far, Moses, but they have not had much opportunities to lose.
I think that H-Win and company have noticed that they need to make a move here. Noble actually caught with their pants down, trying to get under their vehicles and rotate, and they are wiped entirely
wow, that was fast.
by Pecadorus. They just ran right up the hill. I'm not sure if Noble had just decided that they were going to try and escape or what. Noble making a missed play there and completely losing track of Pecadorus, who comes up and wipes them easily. So they're going to have vehicles at their disposal as well, I believe. Yusuf taking some shots from FlyQuest. FlyQuest relatively quiet this game. Snakers and company also moving through. So I'm interested to see. It looks like they're going to crash this compound here. They got to know it's occupied. Pentalol and K-Mind launch into them right out of the gate. Yusuf actually opting to go for the straight crash. Unsure why. It looks like Yusuf getting a lot of pressures on there. Snakers taking down Theris with a vehicle kill. But MLGB actually kills themselves as well. CZBB taking down Matthew, but also one of his team members, Theris, going down in that blaze as well. So it looks like MLGB is in a 2-way fight now with K-Mine and company, and Yusuf going down after that. So it looks like Scurry trying to determine what the hell he's going to do. He's now rotating around to try and get back with Snakers. Instead, he opts to go straight into the building. Scurry now the bottom floor here. Very disjointed approach here. Not sure what this team was trying to do, but they have botched this approach. Looks like Yusuf is down, unable to be supported. Scurry inside here. Surprises Biggie, but Biggie returns fire and takes down Scurry. And off screen, we do see Totality taking some casualties as well. Scurry getting finished off here. Snaker's the last remaining member. Look at this cluster out.
Can you get through that door? I don't know if you can, Moses. There's like 3 burning cars right there. You can't get through that.
No, I don't think there's anything he's able to do there. I don't know what the game plan was there, but if that was it, it leaves something to be desired. TLC also now engaging. They are going 1-to-1 with Pecadorus, just fresh off a previous team wipe. TLC losing 1 member there already. D-Master taking him down. 2 down now for TLC, and they're having to retreat from the onslaught that is Pecadorus, who are just putting pressure on everyone they come across. Cheney in the low ground, going to be spotted by D-Master. If he just turns to the right slightly, D-Master does not see him retreating. That was a very lucky move there by Cheney. Unable was D-Master to spot him out there. So Cheney makes a narrow escape there as the rolling death mob of Smurf, H-Win, and D-Master roll through this area looking for anything to shoot at. Optic sneaking in. Hypox, sneaking in, the last remaining member of Optic. C9 now finding their old friends. Actually, not quite. They did spot out TLC first. So Totality, also the Smithy, the last two members there, finishing off TLC, who are caught up between 3 separate squads. So C9 in this northern end of the map, very, very busy right now, Seal.
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be that way because the new zone that's shown itself is essentially just cutting out Pachinki and Pachinki Fields. I think that's pretty lucky for all of us. We're not going to be seeing any field games. But the big thing news here is that on the north side, all that stuff is cut out right now. They have to make their way into the new white, which is into occupied compounds, but also quite a few squads right here. We're actually seeing right here Squad 15 squatting out more players to their east, but not quite able to get any downs. Actually getting down to themselves already. But this very awkward fight is resulting in just Tunican proning behind this bush, medding for his life. How do you get out of this one? There's just no cover here for him.
Well, this is actually not a good fight for Envious. Envious actually starting this a little bit early. I was watching Caden's behavior there. I thought he was waiting out to spot the rest of Ignite PUBG here, and it looks like they were forced into it as Tunican did spot Caden. Caden going down here. Jesse Lowell having to support his down team member while Check Shooter and Venerated look for the low side flank, trying to get around Ignite here. So I'm not sure what the game plan is, as the zone is also crashing as well. Tunican in a bush. Looks like Venerated is going to run right past him unless they're trying to get all the way past him. And again, Tunican in the bush takes down and kill. I believe he might have killed Jesse Lowell. And now it looks like Venerated and Check Shooter have done the right thing and have got behind and are now in the middle of Venerated and Check Shooter are trying to beat out this shrink as well. So it looks like set to destroy. Ignite is now cut away from their 2 team members and are having to retreat as Envious one down but winning that team fight.
Oh man, these guys actually able to make this compound. Somehow isn't occupied yet, but is not in the white as well. That being said, there's 2 squads that are to their north, and right now we're seeing one player, Himasi, who's just sneaking around here on the outside of this building. He's definitely audible right now. He's sprinting while crouched. Definitely a very loud movement. He's trying to find the right way to take this fight, but I'm not sure what that is. The zone is going to force him out sooner or later. This entire north side is just a big, awkward mess, Moses.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? We just saw Rectify show up literally seconds before Imase got to that compound. So I'm not sure if Rectify is aware he's there. They might be hearing footsteps. Meanwhile, CeeLo, and it looks like not. So it looks like not. Imase taking down Blue there. Rectify making a hole in that door to get himself some vision. Rectify now on the ropes here. Sorry, that was, I think is that Filthy? I can't see his nameplate there, but regardless, CeeLo still outside the zone. MLGB putting pressure. That is Filthy. Filthy now having to abandon his teammate and try and make a play here onto Imase. Imase getting traded out. Does CeeLo Green take down the remaining member of Rectify? And we see here, it looks like Pecadorus is putting pressure down below them as well. Envious also under pressure. Envious, and actually, I guess that must be it. Envious is out of this game. So that was Venerated getting knocked down by CeeLo Green. So Ignite taking them down as well. Smithy is just barely hanging on here. D-Master right on top of him. D-Master might have spotted him. Oh, no.
Maybe not. I thought he did too based on his movement. Oh, he's looking, but he's not looking in the right spot. No, he's actually going back down the hill, back towards his squad. And it looks like they actually want to use a different route to go in. It looks like, which honestly, based on what I was saying, the north side might be a good idea.
Hypox's been spotted, I think. Well, he's definitely been spotted now.
Good tracking.
Oh, I think Optic actually finished his win. So sorry, Hypox finished his win there. So unfortunate for H-Win. H-Win's going to find himself down. Pecadorus being whittled down now to 2 members. FlyQuest rotating into the gap. Behind them is Pecadorus. C9 in a really tough spot here, having to run down this hill into the zone. I'm not sure if that's Moody down on our screen here, but Smithy also trying to find a way in here, just kind of riding the blue as best he can. He is full boosted. No first aids remaining. A couple of boosts. He's going to try and...
That's not his team, Moses.
No. I know he's just trying to be stealthy next to C9. And Froliker's like, hey, wait a second. That's mine. Oh no, Smithy launched the ball out of the vehicle. Totality is out of this game, and actually Pentalol has finished Moody. Froliker shooting him out of the vehicle there. That was a very high level play from Smithy trying to sneak in behind C9 and steal Froliker's vehicle. And it looks like FlyQuest is now running straight into C9 as well. This is a bit of a cluster. That was a very high-level play here.
High-level play from Gravity, too. I think he died from just getting shoved outside the vehicle at 2 his speed. And now this just open field push on the southeast side being very destructive right now. Only 2 players left up on Squad 20. Smurf finishing. Does he have anything left besides a level 1 helmet?
Smurf just wiped FlyQuest. So that now Smurf being taken down by C9. So D-Master trying to trade here. D-Master under pressure from C9. Smurf wiping all of FlyQuest as far as I could see. That was a huge flank there from Smurf. D-Master now in the unfortunate position of having the blue at his back. It's doing a lot of damage here. This will likely be the end of Pecadorus, and it is. Frex taking him down. So that is a good trade again. C9 and Pecadorus trading here. So now it looks like it's going to be the team of Znark, K-Mind, Wooly, and Penta LOL against the remnants of MLGB and C9. C9 only with 2, or did I see 3 members remaining? I think it was only 2. Only 2 there, Solid FPS and Frex running the edge of the zone. We'll see what happens here with this next zone adjustment. It will leave one of the buildings in. MLGB now in definitely the worst position here. However, C9 sneakily having a very excellent spot here. High ground position looking down onto this building and likely at the edge of what will likely be the last remaining play zone if all goes according to plan for them. It looks like Wooly and company are going to have to go 1-to-1 against MLGB. MLGB being in the worst spot possible now. So we'll see what happens here, Seal.
The ball's definitely in their field. A lot of these vehicles he's scattered around are not going to be usable anymore. So even if they wanted to go for the very, very ballsy play of just drive a car and see what happens, I don't know if they have any vehicles left where they could even intelligently do that. So already the ball is definitely MLGB's court. I hope they brought their smoke grenades, and I hope they brought their scopes, because they're gonna need to get it down to make this push work, as the rest of the opposing team of the south all consolidates into the southern barn.
I'm hearing smokes come out here. Looks like they are going to be using smoke cover to try and cross here. All utility in play now. And immediately, as soon as they see anybody, K-Mind already taking down 2 members. Oh, sorry, K-Mind taking down Biggie, and then Pentalo taking down Steezy. So MLGB already in rough shape. Alo trying to use the smoke as cover to get through here. It is just a matter of survival. The defensive nades coming out here as well. Znark spotting him out on the right-hand side, feeding that information to his teammate. Alo making it just to this next building, but he's not out of the woods yet. He's got to go a little bit further. This zone is coming in. It looks like C9 is now enacting their push on the reverse end. That building going up here, Solid FPS in a lot of trouble here, very low on health. Now the remaining MLGB member, Alo, is trying to play a little bit of a spoiler here, taking the attention away from C9, who's trying to get meds off here. So right now, K-Mind and company are in a position to win this game, definitely with the best possible spot, having to come out of their building. C9 in the new zone already. But it looks like we are going to get a little bit of a distraction here from Alo, still trying to get his team a maybe second, or if all goes to the dream, a first place finish, but very low likelihood there.
Yeah, 1v4 is pretty rough right now. Already seeing C9 though, they looks like they've gotten their meds off and are trying to hold their position. But this barn, there's a lot of windows facing that direction towards C9.
And that's the end of that. So now it is a 4v2 situation. Alo getting taken down by Znark there. We will see what happens with this new zone. So all teams are going to have to move here. So C9 has to play this conservative and use time to their advantage here. It looks like K-Mind has gone down. So a res situation here. The play zone actually kills K-Mind. So unfortunate. I'm not sure if that was a misstep by K-Mind. I'm not sure what happened. He might have crawled, or it might have just closed just on top of him. But now a much better situation here for C9. C9 has, I believe, the better position here, just as long as they don't get angles on them from Penta LOL and company here. Again, utility being used, all remaining options on the table. It's going to be a push straight out here.
It looks like he was in the wrong room there. Didn't quite gauge the zone. But looking at this 2v3, and Pentalol and his team on Team 17 definitely to move first. Solid FPS has been taking frag damage this whole time. He'll be able to get so much damage off bases if he can just peek at full HP. His teammate, though, is trying to get some attention.
They let him get too close.
That can't be. That can't happen.
Frex is now in a 2v1 situation. Frex is down 1 team member, but unfortunately unable to manage the angles. Penta LOL, Znark, Wooly, and K-Mind taking this second game in a very action-packed finish there in the barns outside of Pachinki. C9 again placing very well with a second place finish. You know, unfortunately, unable to manage that end game with all that utility coming out of Penta LOL and company there. They've done an
Mhm.
excellent job of using what was available to them. So excellent job from them. Duel taking this game. C9 coming in second. MLGB with a hard-fought third place. And again, the team of Pecadorus coming in fourth. And then we see FlyQuest with a very quiet fifth place. Not a lot coming out of them and being wiped there, but again, a lot of the big names outside of the top five, Totality, Envious, Ghost, all absent here, maybe trying to fight off a little bit of that rust of competition. Optic also
Mhm.
getting almost shut out of this game, eighth place, and one kill across all members there as second game coming to a close, Seal.
The teams that we're seeing performing well, Moses, are doing it pretty consistently too. C9 and Pecadorus. C9 got first place game one, Pecadorus got second, Pecadorus getting fourth place this game, and C9 getting second. We're seeing a lot of the same names showing up on these brackets. Game one was Stalber, but game two, that was a relatively straight up game. There wasn't anything too crazy that happened there as far as the zone or the flight plan went. I think it's a new era.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's early to say. I mean, eras come and go very quickly, and these roster shakeups are now, trying to. I think are affecting how these teams are playing with each other. Maybe there's some getting used to new
Mhm.
team members. Interrogate with Totality. I believe it's Heteror with Optic. All these different changes coming in. I'm surprised to see the struggles of Envious continue, them only netting 2 kills here and going down to set to destroy. Also showing a new look roster here. I'm interested to see how these next 2 games play out. But ultimately, this has been an interesting showing for relative unknowns like Pecadorus, and to an extent, even the team of Penta LOL, Jnark, Wooly, and K-Mine, one game does not build a dynasty, but a very solid showing here.
Absolutely. Well, that was game two. We got a few more for you this evening. Don't go anywhere. The Auzom Premier League Lobby Blue will be coming back to you guys soon.